Yeah, it's internal. It's internal. If it's played out externally, whatever. Sometimes, yeah, there can be an external cause that's made this happen, but the effect, the kind of aftershocks, they're going on internally. The Page of Cups tells us that. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Actually, let's talk about that first, because I keep kind of being drawn there anyway. So we have the Tower. And the Tower, it's something shocking. It's something shocking that happens, and it kind of blows us. There's this double message, 9 of Coins, 9 of Pentacles here, and the Tower here, of where you thought you were safe, where you thought you were fine, where you thought that I'm good here. You know, I've worked really hard for this. Now maybe you realize you're not as safe there. Or what was at first something that you worked hard for, a safe space, now it's almost intolerable. You don't want to be there anymore. A job that you loved, you don't like it anymore. The home that you live in, you don't want to live there anymore. A relationship that you were good in, not so much seeing it in around relationships. It's very much internal and going on with you. It can be how you feel about a relationship, but it's to do with because this person's independent. You can be independent in relationships, I know that. You're one of the signs that can actually do that. But independence and confidence, and this is you worked hard for something. That's what the 9 of Pentacles shows us. It's about enjoying what you've created. And maybe you were trying to do that, but what happened? What happened, Aries? Something happened here. Now, out of this, and what I love about this is there's still something very hopeful around this situation. And if this is your message, you'll know what I mean about that. Because it's almost like the shit hit the fan. Some of you are trying to move on too quickly. I'll say that. But, you know, hey, but for a lot of you, it's like silver lining time. What can I do instead now? I'm not going to sit and dwell on this. I want to move forward. I want to move forward. I want to feel good. You know, the Page of Cups, it's innocence. It's the inner child. This is something that's struck you at core level. Core. But within that shocking truth or reverberations or whatever's going on within you, there is a knowledge, there is an emotion, there's something that's coming up. And it's kind of bizarre because, have a look at this. So we've got, it's healing. The star came up, and I think Aquarius got something similar to this. That the final part of the healing is in the doing now, in doing something, right? But we've got the 3 of Swords with the star. So the 3 of Swords, it's pain, it's grief, it's loss, it's heartache. It's all of those awful things that happen. But when you get that Tower, which is an epiphany, it's something you're not just realizing the truth about what's happened now, but it's almost an understanding of why this shit keeps happening to you. It's almost that big. Because with the 3 of Swords, this can be a trigger, yes, but it can also be, it's where we've got those wounds. And some of them we picked up in childhood. Page of Cups, the inner child, right? Where we picked them up in childhood, where we picked them up for parents' marriage, how we were treated at school, previous relationships. And that's what I know about the 3 of Swords, is that although this situation hurts, whatever the trigger was this time, the job stuff, the relationship stuff, whatever happened this time to trigger this, the 3 of Swords tells us that, you know, that situation was salt. And someone can throw salt at us, but it won't hurt us unless we've got a cut. And I think you've realized a deep wound that you've had for a very long time. This situation has revealed that to you. But it's actually beautiful because you've got the star here. The star is a card of healing. The star is a card of looking up and, you know, it's bizarre. I'm recording this on the 5th of October. And I think today's message on the Libra Season Challenge was around, I don't even remember what it was called now. Consequences, I think, or risks that we take and the consequences, choices that we make, right? And one of the cards that came out was the leadership card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and it's leadership. And it's the star, the North Star it talks about. Now, the North Star guides us. And it almost feels at this time you're looking. You may not have seen it yet. Maybe that's what October is for you, that you figure out, what is my North Star? What is going to guide me out of this? What is going to lead me out of this mess that I find myself in as I stand here in the rubble of this tower that has fallen? Now, the tower always frees us. It always frees us. It's a bit of a... Sometimes it can feel like, you know, we've been kidnapped. and we're being freed with the Tower, but we've got Stockholm syndrome. So we have sympathy for our kidnappers. You know, it's that kind of energy. We don't always want to be freed when the Tower shows up. And I think that's true for you because of the Nine of Pentacles. You know, that this might be where you are saying, but no, Jay, things were so good. I put in so much effort into that. You don't know. You don't know how much I did. But that's what the Nine of Pentacles tells us too. It's the gilded cage. It says it's lovely. You've built this beautiful sanctuary, this garden, whatever it is that you've worked hard on. But there's a whole world to explore outside of that. Do you want to be the big fish in a small pond? I kind of feel like you've either realized that you'd outgrown a situation or it was made apparent to you by something that happened with the Tower going off, just collapsing there. Now you have Temperance coming up in the present, and Pisces did just get the Temperance card too, but you got it in a different way, and I like it here. I think you could do with some of this. There's a very peaceful energy around the Star and Temperance, very peaceful, and you bloody need that. After, you know, this, whatever. Some of you, this is just shadow work that you've been doing. Some of you, this is something that, you know, you've lost something and it hurts. It hurts. But you're so open to looking for a new path. That's what I love about this. What can I do? Where can I go? What can I do next? And that's very much coming up here. So with Temperance, it's about, have a look at this balance. Restoring balance in a situation. Bringing some peace, harmony, and it's moderation in all things. We can't work too hard. We can't play too hard when Temperance comes up. It's making sure we're good. It's taking stock of our life. And it's using what's there to create something new. Now, Temperance comes in after death. You know, when death is rolled through town, there's been some massive changes here. But what's after Temperance? It's the devil. We realize where we've been stuck. But you're not stuck now because you've been released from whatever that stuck energy was. I know it doesn't feel like it for some of you. Some of you want it back, right? You want to go back into that Tower. But with Temperance coming up here, have a look. There's red and there's blue coming out the cups. And the blue represents water for me, which is intuition and emotion. And intuition's coming in there. And fire is your energy. It's action. It's passion. And it's blending the two. Putting emotion behind the actions that we take now. The Star tells us that. The Star is actually the major arcana version of the Nine of Cups. It's wish fulfillment. But it's dreaming on that star, wishing upon a star, picking out the star, right? And following it. That guides us, that gives us direction at a time when you may feel like your life lacks direction. Wow, all right. King of Swords. Now, if you've stayed with me for a while, watched my videos for a while, you know when the King of Swords comes up and the High Priestess comes up, this is about knowing. It's about knowing. So let me just explain the layout a little bit because sometimes people get a little confused. So these are both kind of past-ish energy. We're coming in with this, right? This pain, this hurt, this loss, this desire to heal, to find a new path, to go for, that's fate, that's destiny. I want to walk my path. I'm free to now follow my destiny. And in the past, last week, last month, last year, doesn't matter with the Nine of Coins, the Nine of Pentacles, there was this something that you'd worked really hard for. You know, you have mastery over something that you've put in a lot of time and effort into. Right? So that's that. And then this is the present, kind of what we're focused on, what we're trying to achieve, or what we're dealing with. This is the present, and that is the present. I have a lot of cards that deal with the present because the present is the point of power. The present is the point of power. And by present, I mean October, because that's what we're dealing with here. These energies can play out in the way that they play out. So both of these two, that's the present, what's going on. That's the advice that we have for now. They lead to this, which is the future, which is how we can, for you, moving away from all of this conflict and the rest of the crap. But he knows. That's his thing. I know. People come to him to find out what he knows. He is the consultant. He is the advisor. You see his sort of truth there. You see the wisdom, and I think it's not an owl, because you see the owl, usually the Queen of Swords, but here it's that bird of prey who sees everything, who can laser focus on what needs to be seen from a very great height. That's the King of Swords. That's you. That's you. And it's almost like take a pause. Because when we can focus so much on one thing, we don't always put the pieces together. So this is a great vision, having a look at everything across the board with that Temperance card there. And the King of Swords is about speaking that truth. It's making a decision. He's very good at making decisions. When we get the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, when they come up, They are very much talking about, they're very good at making decisions. They don't let their emotions come into it. They don't let their emotions come into it. And if you look at it from, the pages are the least mature, the least experienced out of the court cards. Then we have the knights, then the queens, then the kings. The kings, they have mastery over it. Logically, idea-wise, what you think, what you know it. You know it. You have an idea here. There's a decision that can be made and you can do it. But it's very much saying to you, please look at every aspect of your life. Do you know what I mean by that? What I mean is it would be very easy right now to react solely from that tower moment, from the loss, for the grief. So, and that might be when you want to escape something, right? I want to escape. That's what it kind of looks like. I want to just get out of this. I want to escape. Anywhere will do, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the other thing that this brings in is, okay, with that might be we want to get out of a situation and we're looking at our options, what's going on around us. But the star is going to be, well, what do you want to get into? If we're going to do this anyway, let's go towards something great. Let's go towards something that we've always wanted to do. That sky's the limit. Let's dream big. Let's make this dream as big as it will go. And I know it's hard because you're kind of doing it at a time when there's pain and hurt and loss and grief and all this kind of stuff going on. And that might have been there for a long time. The Page of Cups coming up here, though, with that tower, it's very much, there's an emotion that's come out of this. Very innocent emotion. That part of you that's the most innocent, your inner child, that you may have been neglecting in maybe working or, living the single life. Whatever you've been doing, whatever you were doing here. And it kind of feels like that's what's been freed in this collapse, is that more vulnerable, childlike, emotional aspect of you. But then we're the parent and the child, right? And in this scenario, it would be that emotional self, that's the child. There's the parent, the logical part who's going to take care of this and say, well, okay, this is what we need now. This is what we have to do. We need some balance. Let's not shake shit up too much. There's enough. There's been enough change here. Now, I want to put this another way. For some of you, and it just came through now, for some of you, especially because the King of Swords is there, what you know, the decision that you make, you are the tower. You become the tower moment in the situation. But it's not going to be out of the blue. It's something that you've already been considering, and you know this. You know that to get out of a situation, to get away from this pain, to break yourself free from a situation that doesn't look entirely bad, but it's not. There's more for you. There's more for you. You would have to destroy that tower, bring it down, which we can absolutely be the agents of tower in our own readings or in other people's readings, right? I've said that before. Sometimes we're roadkill on someone else's journey. Sometimes they're roadkill on our journey. It's just how it goes. So this is about knowing what you know. He will make that decision. He's going to come up. You do know it. Both of these two, when they come up together, they both are telling you very clearly, you know this. Now, if you don't know it, which the High Priestess says you do from your intuition, your gut feeling, this might be someone that you could go and ask for advice from. A lawyer, a solicitor, and a consultant, an advisor of some kind. Maybe just a friend of yours who's very intelligent, knows things, like, they give very sound advice. He can be a great advisor. Now, what we have going forward is the Six of Swords. So this is it. That's the whole point of what you're doing, why you're doing this. You want to move away from something. Some of you want to literally move. It may be overseas, maybe to a different town, just a house in your area, whatever. It can be a literal journey with the Six of Swords. But energetically, this talks about moving away from a situation that was full of a lot of conflict, ruthless behavior, just fights all the time, or, battles, and you don't want it. You don't want it, right? And think about that. Sometimes our reliance on that safe space that we create, it is to help us to endure very difficult circumstances, right? We build the tower to keep us safe if there's like chaos around us. But now that tower's gone, it's like you have to face the chaos around you. And you're like, well, screw this. I'm not building another tower here. I'm just going to move on. I don't have this, but maybe that's friends or family, because the 3 cups, they can represent the 3 of cups. And have a look at him. He's almost praying. He's up there looking, where's my Ace of Cups? Where's my new beginning, right? I want to feel happy. Where is it? He's praying for that. This is being stuck in a rut. But I'm because it's coming up with the 3 of Pentacles here. I kind of feel like who's going to help me do this? It's kind of that kind of energy. Maybe the tower is support left you, or you know, you need that support, or you don't want it anymore. If those people around, they're no use to you because he's not interested in those 3 cups. He's stuck. This is someone who is done trying to, he doesn't want to settle for the options that are presented to him. But I want to say this to you, that maybe the whole reason that you've not been able to figure out where to go or how to do this is because you think you have to do it on your own. But the 3 of Pentacles says you don't have to do it on your own. And this is about focus, what we focus on. 3 of Pentacles, I mean, this particular card, 3 of Pentacles isn't about that. It's about getting the right people for the job, working together, collaboration, compromise. That's what it is. But there's a story that I always tell whenever this card comes up. And apparently, a very kind of wise fellow who watches the Aquarius readings told me it's Christopher Wren, apparently, where this comes from, I think. I don't know it myself, I asked. But the story is that there was a guy walking down the road and he comes to 2 stone cutters, right? And he asked, they're both doing identical jobs. And he goes to the first guy and he goes, "What are you doing?" And the guy goes, "I'm cutting stones." Because that's what he's doing. He's a stone cutter. He goes to the second guy who's also cutting stones and he goes, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm building a cathedral." It's the focus. It's the meaning that you put in it. And with that star coming in, it's big. So what's your cathedral, Aries? That's what this is about. What is your cathedral? When you figure out what your cathedral is, what it is that you want to build, you will find the right people for it. You will find the right people for it. Because with this, it may be that, it's just boredom. It's apathy. None of the options look appealing. And so maybe it's time to move to a different area or search in a different area or whatever it is. But sometimes, when we're amidst that chaos or wherever that is, or standing in the rubble of that tower, however you want to put that, how are you going to be able to explore? All you can see is the destruction that happened there. So you're stuck. You're doing this. And that's why the 6 of Swords is saying, well, we need to get out of that. We need to move forward out of that. We'll take the lessons learned from it. And there's other people in the boat too. So it's not like you're doing this alone, it kind of feels. And that's what this says. There are people that will help you build this dream or work towards this. I know you feel like you can't, but there are other people. There is help available to you. Or even if it's not, if it's you, if this is a solo venture and you can only do this yourself, and you've always done it yourself, right? Always relied on yourself. Then it's about bringing in mind, body, and spirit. There's different aspects to you, not just logic. There's emotion as well, and there's your intuition there as well. You're good on the body because you've done that. The hard work, the building it. Coins or pentacles are around, excuse me, our jobs, our finances, our homes, our possessions, the people in our lives, right? Relationships, our physical bodies. But this feels like a rebuilding, but it's going to be, I think you tried to do everything alone. And that no judgment there. Maybe you had no option but to, it was all on you. But that bloody House of Cards fell. But there is help available. Let's see why that High Priestess is coming up. When she comes up, she's asking you to trust your instincts. Trust your, gut feeling. And when any of the 2s come up, so the 2, the High Priestess, or 11, Justice, which adds up to a 2, or 20, Judgment, which adds up to a 2 as well, they all talk about a decision that needs to be made. But for her, she's saying make that decision or that choice based on your gut feeling. You do know, there's just no physical evidence for it. That's the problem. Well, there wouldn't be if you're standing in the rubble of the tower. Bloody hell, there we go. There's the fight that comes out. And that's the thing with her. She's very passive. She knows, but she just sits there knowing. She doesn't tell you. She doesn't say anything. What's needed is action based on that gut feeling, on what you know, on what you see as your star. And I get it. There's a lot of shit happening here. There's towers falling. There's dealing with heartache and pain and old triggers and old stuff that's coming up. Making tough decisions at this time, right? While trying to keep everything peaceful and balanced. There may be children involved in this. But that 5 of Wands, it's stepping up and showing what you're made of. It's getting back in the ring. It's getting back in the ring. The thing with the 5 of Wands is it's about overcoming the challenges. But it's not it's not kind of destroy. It's not the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is ruthless, and we're moving away from that. The Five of Wands is healthy competition. It's teamwork. It's, you know, where we're showing what we're made of. That where there are challenges that come up, but we take pride in overcoming them. We enjoy the challenge in overcoming that challenge. Yeah, you're getting back into your power, my lovelies. I know it's not been easy, and I don't know whether it was you, and I don't mean this literally, but energetically, this is either you just pin out the grenade over the shoulder, off we go. Either it was that with that tower, or it's horrible what happened, but it's allowed you to kind of, well, I was never meant to be there anyway. It's giving you that realization. I was more than this. I was meant to be more than this, to do more than this. The fight's coming back. The fight's coming back. I know you're very much scouting and looking for which direction to go in and what can I build now and how can I do this. You're going to do it. You're going to do it all. Trust that. But you've got this coming up. So that's the fight coming back. Now, I don't usually give tarot timings because, you know, we work through the energies at our own pace, but you do have the Wheel of Fortune. That's Jupiter. So it might be that, I don't usually even go there, but Sagittarius time, because you've got Wheel of Fortune and you've got Temperance here in the present. So that might be the timing that you're looking at, that whatever you put into place now, it plays out by then or completes by then. Do you see what I mean? So do that. But I mean, that's more for your personal situation. Get a personal reading from someone if you want to figure that out more. But here we've got, this is defending what's yours. Standing, I know what I stand for. Sevens always ask us, is it worth it? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth defending this? And, oh God, I don't know who's picking a fight with you, but they should be careful. Don't pick a fight with Aries. And then you have the wheel coming up here. And that's it. Everything is changing. So you got this double fate energy. It's big, this. Like, I don't think you could have foreseen it. Of course not with the tower there, right? But when you get the star, which talks about stepping into your fate, stepping into your destiny, the Wheel of Fortune saying the time is now. The time is now. The wheel is turned. There's opportunities coming in for you to go. This is fate. This is destiny. And we turn fate into our destiny by the choices and the actions, excuse me, actions that we take. Sorry, guys. I've been talking all day. And when I've been talking all day, what happens is my throat dries out. Excuse me. So yeah, the wheel has turned. The wheel has turned. Now with the Emperor coming up here, that's you guys. You come out on top. It's stepping into your own power. No matter how much this is like independence and confidence and all of that stuff. The Nine of Coins can't touch the Emperor. This is true power. This is true bringing order to a situation. 1 second, guys.